Okay, we got our car cut off to length. When we leave a model and come back in, it always closes the component. So we talked about that the first day. We need to open this component to be able to edit it, and it's a hard one to remember. If you remember, when I click on it, it's got this box going around it with the select tool. If it's got the gray dotted lines around it, it means you're editing the component. Okay? So yesterday we finished up, or last time we finished cutting that front view off to length between 200 and 300. So I'm going to go back to my views and go to front view again. And my next step is to work with the axle holes. So I'm going to erase this guideline up in the front. So I just clicked on the eraser tool, went over the guideline above my part, and clicked it. If I go down here, it erases way too much. I'll hit the undo button to not do that. Alright, so the axle holes, they're 7 millimeters off the bottom. So I need to click on my tape measure tool again. And I'm going to click this red line. Again, remember, don't click on your car because it sometimes picks up weird lines. Click on the red line, bring it up, click it to place it, and type 7 and hit enter, and you should see it move to 7 millimeters from the bottom. We're set up there. Now remember, we have to be between 10 and 50 from the front and the back. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go, I can be 10 out, I can be anywhere up to 50 out. I'm going to go about right here. This was what worked good for my car. And it says 32.6. I like to just type in the number that it's close to and hit enter. Front of my car, I'm going to come here until I catch this blue dot, which is the midpoint, and bring that back. And I like that. And it's close to 24, so I'm going to go 25 and hit enter. And I have my two axles. Again, they can be anywhere between 10 and 50 from the front and the back. Now I have the axle centers. Time to draw the actual axle holes. I'm going to click on the rectangle tool or the shape tool, and underneath the shape tool is the circle tool. And I'm going to make these way too big at first. Again, click on the center first, and I drag it out along this line or along this line. And click. Way too big. And I'm going to type 2 and hit enter for the radius. Same thing up front. Make it way too big. Make sure I'm on this guideline and type 2 and hit enter. And now I have the holes drawn. Now we have to cut them out. So I'm going to switch into isometric view to be able to cut these axle holes. And here comes the trick. Really pay attention to where my cursor is going here. If I accidentally grab this and go like that, not a big deal. Just make sure to hit undo. Don't try to go like this and then try to get it to the right spot. You never will. I'll have to hit undo twice there to get back to normal. I want to make sure to grab the center here. And I'm going to drag my cursor back. Now, I don't know how far this goes back at all. It does stick out of the back of the car if I want it to, but that's not where I want to go. I just want it to go through this whole piece, which means I just have to touch this arrow to this back edge. And it should have gone through. So if I go, again, go to the back here and do the same thing, grab the center, I'm going to move my cursor till I touch this back line here and drop it. And you can see it made a hole there. I'm going to go to front view, and you can see how it's gray in the center. That means it made a hole. Gray in the center means it made a hole. Again, if you mess it up, so let's go undo on that back hole. If I'd mess this up and I'd look at it and it's not gray, or I look at it from the top view and it's sticking way out there, that's messed up. Just hit Control Z to undo it, or hit the undo button. And I'm going to do that push-pull again. Undo is your friend. Now I look in the top view, it's perfect. If I go top view X-ray, I can see the axle hole running there and the axle hole running there. and my axles are complete, and I'm ready to move on to the next step.